So this is what we got, guys. I forgot what I was. But I wanted to come over here and check on this right here deck. I told him, you know, I wanted to pour a couple of pier beams, footings for pier beams. So I was just making sure it was there. So they got them poured, there's 3 of them. So they got that poured, so we're good on that. All right. And then here we got, now one thing that you want to make sure you got, guys, one thing I made sure when I talked to the guys, I don't like to leave anything to chance. I like to always kind of make sure the guys are doing it the way it's supposed to be done. I want to make sure that coming from that garage, that I got falls coming down this way. I want to make sure that if water hits on this right here dry, that water is going to come this way instead of going back into the garage. Does that make sense? So they pulled a string just to make sure, and I was making sure too. So I want to make sure, and you really can't just eyeball this stuff. You really need to put a level on it. That's why you guys got the levels over there. You want to put a level on it just to make sure. And I figured that the water, I'm looking at it right now. Guys, when you do it now, I can kind of eyeball things now that I've done this enough. I can see the water coming down right here. Now, they say they got 10 yards on these trucks. They really don't know how much on this truck. Well, I was wrong. They probably got 10 yards for real. Now, sometimes you get a lot of concrete built up on the inside of it. So they're way in the truck. Right there, and it's coming from the foundation, and we're going to run it out right here. So they're going to dig a trench and take that line right there and put it over there. See what I'm saying? And I'm also going to put the reason we got this right here is we're going to put a pad for steps. I mean, you need me? You need me? Huh? Okay. Hey man, make sure y'all gonna put that. Y'all gonna run that across there, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, nah, that needs to run across. That drainage when you, it's right here. Okay. And then tell them we got another pipe right here too. It's over there.
All right.
It's gonna go across here.
Oh, that goes over there? Like this?
No, it's just right here. Right off the steps right here.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. The reason we're running that pipe is for that pipe is going to get ran so that for the irrigation. So we'll have a pipe we can run our irrigation. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna go get that pipe and just lay it over here so they remember, because I'm fixing to get ready to go. So we got this right here. We cut this right here sidewalk out. We're gonna form this right here so the homeowner, and I did it so this right here kind of sway out a little bit. Because when she come in here with her truck, she gonna have to come up here. We don't want the back tire to hit the curb, so all that needs to be there, and so you can switch before you call them up in there. I try to think.
I don't know if they showing it to you.
What's that?
See that little box on the back of the truck right there?
Yeah.
That box, that truck is on
All right, man. Let me. I'm fixing to get ready to go. I don't even want to see the rest of this. There's always something go wrong, man. I don't even want to see it if it go wrong. I want to think the best. I guess you can't leave nothing to chance, man. But God, it's always something. I'm gonna take this right here pipe. Actually, the power company left this pipe, but we don't need it anymore. Take it. put it right down here somewhere. So they'll remember it. You got any questions, man?
What's going on in the back?
Huh?
What's going on in the back?
Well, you know what's going on in the back. This is concrete
Concrete?
discussion, not a septic tank.
What could go
We
wrong
already
with
did.
concrete?
A lot, man. You know, talking about the installation of concrete, or
Like, you said you didn't want to like be here when concrete's here. Why is that? What
they
could...
can get it to where the doggone truck gets stuck. We already had that skid steer. See, when they was grading this driveway, the skid steer stopped working. So when the skid steer stopped working, we had to use the other, luckily we had the other machine over here to do the rest of the grading for that hill right there. These are the things that can go wrong, man. It's just a lot. Man, anything can go wrong, man. They could have, I kind of watched it, man. I had a pipe up under the ground from a septic tank. That back tire could have pushed the dirt down and broke the pipe. Good thing about it, he didn't go back that far. So when I looked at it, he didn't go. I put a line on the ground, show what. Guys, these are all the things that can go. It's just, what else can go wrong? I mean, anything can go wrong, man. One of the concrete trucks break down right there. You see what I'm saying? That's anything can go wrong, man. I had to always try to think. This guy, he could have bagged back, man. He could have hit my retaining wall, tore that up. Need I? And I'm just, let me say this right. I know that sounds negative. A lot of people, like even in my regular life, I always think of the worst stuff that could happen. But I try to plan for it. And you can't plan for everything, but you need to always be thinking of the problems. What could happen? And I'm always coming up, like I'm thinking about the problem, but I'm thinking about a solution at the same time. So I walk around all day thinking of solutions to things that can go wrong, which is why I really, be honest with you guys, when people hire me as a contractor, you're hiring me to deal with the problem, not dealing with the things to go right. Because, you know, if everything went right on the job, man, I mean, you wouldn't need a builder. You wouldn't need someone who's experienced in this stuff, to be doing this stuff. That's why I don't have a problem even giving away and telling everybody, like doing a YouTube channel and explaining the whole process and everything. Because I could build the same house right next, and I've done that, guys. I built the same house right next to each other and ran into two separate problems on each house. So no matter, you know, like I said, a house has over 300,000 parts. You're gonna have problems. The experience as a contractor is how do you handle those problems? And you gotta do it right, man, because I can guarantee you, if you cover up a problem, or you don't fix that problem as you have it, that homeowner's gonna see that problem. And I guarantee, there's not been a time in most cases that the homeowner called me and said, we had a problem, right? We had a problem. I already know what it is. And that's why I just started, you know, instead of just, oh man, that's okay. I don't do that no more. I hadn't done that in about 15 years or so. That'll work. I don't do that, man. I just, hey, look, we're gonna address this, we're gonna address it to the entirety. Now, do I get all the problems? No, I'm not gonna catch all. I'm not gonna catch them all. There's still gonna be a matter of things that I'm not gonna catch, man. Like I said, this house has over 300 and some thousand parts. So it is what it is.
How do you, like, with something like this, doing the driveway, how many concrete trucks would you do, and then how would you, like, schedule them to come out?
Yeah, now like I said, on this right here case, I calculated the square foot of concrete, which you got to get the cubic foot.
Right.
And then once I get the cubic foot, whatever it was, I divided the amount of cubic feet by 27, which is yards. That's cubic yards. Once you divide it by 27, that's going to give you how many yards you need to order. So in this case, I calculated, and on the high end, I always calculate on the high end, I calculated 40 yards. And so that's how I told them, I said, we're gonna do 30 yards and a clean out. Each one of those trucks is supposed to carry 10 yards apiece. So that's why I said we're gonna do 30 yards. We're gonna do 3 trucks, and then that last truck may be right along in there, and then we'll do a clean out, which that truck is probably gonna carry, you know, we'll let them know how many yards they need to put on that truck at the end.
What about time limit? Within what time span would you order each truck?
But the distance between, really, they need to be about 20. I was scheduling 20 minutes apart. Now, they asked me. And here's another thing, guys. I don't really like to deal with, like, I'd rather for my concrete guy to deal with the concrete people. Because he understands his workers. He know who he's going to hire to come out there and do that day. So he can gauge how fast they need these trucks to be spaced apart. And typically, man, 20 minutes apart is good. They give them a chance to work the concrete and do what they got to do, and then get the next truck in to where the truck's going to be sitting around idle, because you don't want those trucks sitting too long, even with the little things spinning on them. You don't want it doing it too long, because after a certain amount of time, the concrete starts setting. It won't be as good to work with. It'll get a little hard to work with. Now, this right here, they started at 10. It'll take them the whole day. It get dark around 4 o'clock now, but it'll take them the whole day to work this concrete. Because they're gonna be, they gotta form it, they gotta finish it, then they're gonna have to turn around and they're gonna have to put the joints in it, and then they're gonna have to put a broom finish on it. So all that stuff is going on. So they got a ways to go.
That's it for me.
Huh?
That's it for me.
Okay. All right, man.